So let's welcome Mr. Shaun.
Good afternoon. Morning. Okay, thank you. Okay, wow, the introduction, no need one lah. So shy out. Okay, alright, good to be back. Okay, I spent 4 years in USM, and I think PKA has been a very big part of my life. And it's very nice to see unfamiliar faces. It means that there are first years to bully, okay, and to make them work. The old people all tired already, okay? kidding. Alright, before we start, let's just pray. Our Father Lord in heaven, we want to thank you, Lord, for your grace. That we as just broken jars, oh Lord, worthless, empty, and yet you fill us with your treasure. And that, dear Lord, you care for us, and now you give us this new life. We pray even as we study on evangelism, we pray, oh Lord, that we may learn to develop a sense of urgency and also a need, oh Lord, to preach the gospel for your sake. We give you thanks. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay. The topic that was given to me was unashamed. Okay. So today's topic is teaching you to be paiseh. Okay. All right. First of all, right, when we want to talk about the gospel, I think it's first to address this question. What is the gospel? Okay? I think the one that would know this the most is the president of PKA, but no, we spare her. So just tell me, what is the gospel? You know, y'all can just do the usual class one where y'all just and then somehow one or two words will come out one. Okay? So what is the gospel? Sorry? Gospel? Okay, God's word. Some more? What is it about? Let's say a friend asks you, what is the gospel? What will you tell him? Love. Some more? The good news. Some more? So you tell the person the gospel is the good news. And then the person asks, what is the good news? Okay. So what is it about? What Jesus did for you. Some more? Sorry? The Great Commission. Some more? Okay? Anything more? Yes, you smile at me. Do you have the answer? Yeah, okay. No. Alright, the gospel, right? Basically, if you want to share it simply as in easily, not 随便, basically it is, we have sinned, alright? We deserve death. But because God loved us, He gave us Jesus, who died and rose again. And if this Jesus died and rose again, He can make us rise again after we die. And if we believed in Him, we are saved. So that is the gospel, okay? And the gospel is a very special thing because it brings life to the dead. So if you read in the New Testament, right, Paul always mentions, you who were once dead, you received the gospel and now you were made alive. Okay? Does it mean that they were zombies? No. They were already alive, but spiritually they were dead. And when they believed, there was a transformation that happened within them. Then they believed and they grew. Okay? Now, how many of us actually find it hard to actually share the gospel? Only Kelly, the others are okay. Alright, okay. Don't be ashamed, okay? I believe, right, that the gospel, I said this before last time, but I believe that the gospel isn't very hard to talk about. Because how many of us think that God encompasses all of our lives? Okay? That means God is everything, everywhere, right? And if God is everything, everywhere about our life, then we should be able to share about Him anytime. Is that true?
That's right.
Okay? For example, if you talk about See, Reuben is a very crazy guy and he does a lot of things, right? So it's easy to talk about him, right? So let's say I just mentioned floorball, I can talk about him. If I mention thick skin, I can talk about him. If I mention no shame, then talk about him, you see? Right? So this is what it means, that if God encompasses all of our lives, then we should be able to talk about him anytime we want. Okay? Creation, God is in it. Life, death, happiness, sadness, all these things are things related to God, and that it should open up a path to actually talk about God. Okay? So the question here is, do we actually know the gospel? Right? If, let's say, friends ask us, what is the gospel? Can we actually give a good answer to them? Can we actually, by the end of it, they will say, so that's what the gospel is, that Jesus died for me, God loves me, and that by believing in him, I may have life. Okay? Second thing is, have we actually accepted it? Alright? There may be some of you who are still thinking, some of you who actually never really gave serious thought to this. Alright? But right now, it's a good time to ask yourself, have I accepted the gospel? Have I really believed that Jesus is the only way? Have I believed that, yes, God loves me, and yes, this is a God I need to live for? Okay? Second question, why do we share the gospel? Great Commission. Yeah, Reuben's favorite answer. Okay, alright. It's true, it is God's mission for us as believers. Can you just turn to 2 Corinthians 5? 5 verse 14 to 20. Okay, because I'm thirsty, can we have Adrian read one verse and then we just go back? Verse 14 to 20. One verse each.
For the love of Christ controls us, since we have concluded this, that Christ died for all, therefore all have died.
Amen.
He died for all, so that those who live should no longer live for themselves, but only for him who died and was raised to life for their sake.
So we have stopped evaluating others from a human point of view. At one time we thought of Christ merely from a human point of view. How differently we know him now.
This means that anyone who belongs to Christ has become a new person. The old life is gone, a new life is begun.
Alright, until 20. Next.
But all things are of God, who reconciled us to himself through Jesus Christ and gave to us the ministry of reconciliation. Namely, that God was in Christ reconciling the world to himself, not reckoning to them their trespasses, and having committed to us the word of reconciliation.
We are therefore Christ's ambassadors, as two gods. We make his appears to us. We improve you on Christ's behalf. We reconcile to God.
Okay. So, this passage, right, is about being ambassadors of God. The younger ones may not know this, but there was actually a year where our team was Christ ambassadors, right? And it's one of the best teams. No, because I was part of the committee. Okay. Right, but this is basically what Paul is talking about, alright? So when he starts out with verse 14, he says that if one died for all, then all died, right? And then he died for all, that those who live should live no longer for themselves, but for him who died for them and rose again. So he's saying that Jesus died for all, okay? And if, let's say, we believe in him who died for us, then we live no longer for ourselves, but we live for him. Alright? So right now, all of us who believe, we live for Him. Okay? It's part of the terms and condition, actually. So maybe we didn't really read the terms and conditions, but this is part of it, that we live for Jesus now. Okay? And then after that he says, in verse 18, now all things are of God, has reconciled us to Himself through Jesus Christ, and has given us the ministry of reconciliation. Now this word reconciliation, right, it means to actually make peace. Okay? So when Paul says we have been given the ministry of reconciliation, it means that right now, God and people who do not believe, they are enemies. And we are responsible for reconciling them, making peace again, to bring them the gospel. Okay? And that's why in verse 20 it says, we are ambassadors of God. Now when it says ambassadors, right, ambassadors is actually a very, very big, important position. Okay? An ambassador is one who represents the organization or the group or the country that the person comes from. So for example, if I am an ambassador of Malaysia, so it is as if when people see me, they should see Malaysia. Alright? So when I go to other countries, when they see, they're like, oh, you are speaking for Malaysia. Alright? So I'm speaking for all of you. That's what it means. So when it says that we are ambassadors of God, it means that we are, by right, supposed to speak for God's sake. Okay? We are representing God. That's why it's very important to watch our behavior, because does God behave like that? So for example, if an ambassador goes to another place and behaves weirdly, then the other people ask, so, oh, Malaysians are like that? Okay? So we are ambassadors of God. And it sounds like a very huge burden that we need to watch out of how we behave all the time. But let me tell you this, that it is actually a very big privilege. How many people can say they are representing God? Only Christians. Okay? And I'd like to share with you a story. I have this youth leader in my church. Okay? Some of you look up to me. Okay? I look up to him. Okay? That's how good he is. And I feel that since my first year, he has always been with me and to actually encourage me to serve and do all these things. But I was never really, not to say part of the church, but I was more active in the CF. So I would only meet him during the weekends, and even then we would just have a normal chat. We wouldn't be chatting a lot. But I really appreciate him as a brother. And then this year, he actually got married. Very, very, very happy for him, okay? And he got married. He asked the whole church to actually help, okay? And I can tell you for sure, all of us were very eager to help him, all right? Not because the task was simple, but because of his care and concern that he showed to us, that we all felt we needed to repay him in that sense. Okay, I got the worst one. I will feel I got the worst thing to do. Okay, because I'm communication, so they think that we can do all things. I was in the morning. I was supposed to record a video of like people coming to to wish him lah. Okay, so I came earlier. Even the bridegroom not there, I already there, okay? To actually set up the things. And then after that, asked him, when do you want this video to be released? Then he said, by tonight dinner can or not? Then I was like, wow, that, in my mind, I'm like, cannot, but come on, okay, can. then okay, so after that, we decided, okay. So, some of you may know Nicholas, so I worked with him on that. So he was taking, because he said, every time when a wedding happens, right, we don't really recognize the people who help out behind. So he did this video. He says he wants people to at least appreciate the helpers. So Nicholas was in charge of taking pictures of people who were helping, I'm just taking the video of those wishing. So the whole wedding ended at about, I think, 1. Okay, then we had lunch. Okay, until 2. Then we came back home. Then from Burma Road to my place was half an hour. So 2:30. Dinner was at 7. Okay. Then I'm like, wow, okay, I'll start rushing. I've never been so hardworking in my life. Okay, like really non-stop doing work, Okay, then after that, do. And rush. Then after that, no time to bathe also. Then it's like, even while on the way there, I was rendering the video. That means rendering takes about 20 to 30 minutes. So I was just leaving it there, praying that nothing happens, because if the hard disk then the whole thing you need to restart again. I'm like, okay, the whole time like that. Then, but again, if you ask me, I was really glad to help, because I think he deserves that for all the things that he has done for me. And if he had needed anything else, so throughout the night, I did not tell him that it was troublesome, but he came to thank me, and then he says like, thank you. He said, was it hard? I was like, no. Because I just didn't want you to worry, and I just think that you deserve this. Now, if we actually think about it, right, God has already done so much for us, right? Why is it so hard for us to actually give back to God? Why is it so hard for us to say, yes, Lord, you deserve this because of what you have done for me? Yes, you deserve my life, you deserve my time, you deserve my effort, you deserve my love. So that's why I'm saying that it is not a burden at all to be a Christian. If you truly appreciate how much things God has done for us, you will never take it a burden. It is a privilege. I would be very, very sad if my friend Kawe had not asked me to help. It means that I wasn't that important. It means that I had not been a friend enough to him. Now this is God, the great God, who did not need us, yet he gave us this privilege to be ambassadors of God, to represent him. And what are we doing with it? Right? It's something for us to think about. And now the third question. Okay, so why do we not share the gospel? Something to ask ourselves. Okay, how many of you have watched Logan? Wow. Well, you're so busy. Okay. Okay, Logan, very nice, very interesting. But spoiler, somebody died.
Oh,
yeah. No, I haven't watched it. Okay, but somebody spoiled it for me. And so far, everybody has been saying it's really nice and interesting. Okay, Ania. Okay. What about Hacksaw Ridge? Hey, this side don't watch movies. Oh, okay. Wow, alright. So we now know who is the most free person here. Okay. Just saying. Okay. You know how when we... what movie do you all watch? La La Land? Right? Was La La Land nice?
Yes!
Right? I like that movie, but I hated the ending. Okay. So you see how I saw just now when I asked from La La Land, Mariana's face suddenly, it's like she was ready to stand up and sing. Okay. But she didn't. Okay. Alright. We have all things that we actually talk about and we are very, very interested. For me, I love... Okay, let me just ask. How many of you watch Train to Busan? Okay, thank you. Alright, okay, you know why? Okay, because, right, when I was sharing in church, okay, then the church got quite a lot of old people. So I wanted to use Train to Busan as an example, Okay, so I asked, how many, those who watch Train to Busan, please raise your hand. Right? The only person who raised their hand, only got one, and that was me. And then I'm like, hey, in my mind, panicking, I need to get another example. Okay? Then just now I was actually also a bit afraid. Logan so few La La Land, so few. Then Train to Busan. Okay. Train to Busan. Right? I love that movie. To me, it was the movie of the year for 2016. Okay. You can ask me why later, but I'm not sure it's you weren't in Malacca that time. Huh? Yeah, the time when I was in Malacca, right? I was so in love. I kept talking to people about Train to Busan, like really. And then church, after church, talk about Jesus dying. After that, talk about zombies, And then like I keep talking and I keep asking people, you need to watch. I watched it 5 times in the cinema. That was before. That was before petrol price increase. Now I cannot afford any. 5 times because I really loved it. And after that, while preparing for this, right? I'm not trying to actually sound like prideful or arrogant, but to be honest, this sharing has been one of the most difficult sharings for me because it made me look at my heart also. And this is what it is. While preparing for this, right? Then I typed out, why do we not share the gospel? Then I just thought about it. I share Train to Busan so many times with people. I talk about it all the time. And after that I ask, but when it comes to the gospel, why am I not as passionate about this? And it's something that we can ask ourselves as well. When it comes to the gospel, why are we not as passionate? Okay? Maybe it hasn't impacted us as much as the movies. Or maybe we are just scared. Okay? But here's a very funny thing. How many of us were... Okay, I assume that all of us here took UPSR. Right? Just in case, maybe some people... Okay? All of us took UPSR. Okay. How many of us are actually very scared? Not scared of UPSR? Before UPSR, you're not scared, man? Your first major exam, or? Okay, wow. Okay, how many of us were scared of SPM? What were you all scared of? STPM, okay. The poorest students scared of SP. Yes. Okay? How many of us actually took it? We all went past it, right? So we were scared of the major exam, but we still took it because we needed to. Okay? So for those of us who are scared to share the gospel, it shouldn't stop us from sharing it because we need to share the gospel. That is our mission. That is what we talked about in 2 Corinthians. Okay? Or maybe, and this I feel is probably the underlying issue with all of us, even myself. Maybe it's just not so important to us. Maybe sharing the gospel isn't the top in our list. Maybe that is the last thing we will do if needed. There's a lack of focus there. For this, can we just turn to Colossians 4, verse 3 to 4. Okay, Colossians 4 verse 3. This one is Paul's letter to the Colossians. So in his last chapter, he's actually encouraging them. And this is what he says. Meanwhile, praying also for us, that God would open to us a door for the word, to speak the mystery of Christ, for which I am also in chains, that I may make it manifest as I ought to speak. Okay. Paul, when he says the mystery of Christ, so up until the Old Testament times, right, the mystery of Christ was that God would be living in the Gentiles' hearts. That was a mystery. To actually say to people, God is in me, that is already a mystery. So when Paul says, pray for me that God may open to us a door for which I can speak the mystery of Christ. Okay. This is what we were talking about. It is our mission. So for Paul, he says, for which I am also in chains. That means he is bounded to it. He needs to follow whatever God tells him to do. And Paul here, he's saying, pray for me for more opportunities. And then pray for me that I may be brave to speak it as I ought to speak. Alright? While he is sharing this, you can actually see his focus. That for him, where he goes, it is to pray for more opportunities to share the gospel. And pray that he may make it manifest. Right? To actually speak it as it is. How many of us here actually pray for opportunities to share the gospel? How many of us here actually pray for the boldness to share as we ought to share? We don't seem to be very bothered by the chains, do we? This, myself included. Do we actually even think about all these things? For me, when I wake up, to be honest, thinking of more opportunities is not even in my mind. And that's why as I was preparing this, it pains me. God is really molding me. And I hope that it speaks to you as well, especially as students in the university where there are many friends around you. Okay? And so, instead of praying for more opportunities, instead of praying for the boldness, what are we doing with it? We are more concerned with who to eat with, what to eat, my computer games, right? My life, my career path, my studies, all these things. I'm not saying that these aren't important, but it has taken so much of our time, so much of our focus, that in the end the gospel isn't even in our mind. And so, the point that I want to bring up to you all is to actually possess the urgency. Okay? And we read on in Colossians 4, 5 and 6. Walk in wisdom toward those who are outside, redeeming the time. Let your speech always be with grace, seasoned with salt, that you may know how you ought to answer each one. You know, the time now, when Paul mentions this, right, he says, redeeming the time. It means that to him, right, time is already short, and we need to act fast. We need to make use of it. Okay? And when he says to let your speech always be with grace, seasoned with salt, what it means is that let your conversations be meaningful. Alright? A salt, right, is used to add flavor to the food. Okay? You don't add sand to it because it does not add anything beneficial. But you add salt because it makes it more flavorful. So when Paul says, let your conversation always be with grace, seasoned with salt, what he means is that, hey, you need to start making conversations that are meaningful. Not just talk about anything, not just talk, right? He says that is the purpose. And I can tell you now that really time is short. And if we need to wait, you know, if we're still in our own comfort zone, feeling scared, feeling that there are more important things to do. If we need to wait until somebody dies for us to actually go and share the gospel, I can tell you we're in for a rude awakening. We need to really just wake up. Why I tell you this? So, very interestingly enough, I feel that as I was preparing for the month, God showed me a lot of things through different people that speak about this urgency. So my friend was actually sharing, he was sharing about a different passage, but he shared about how time is short. And he says that his friend, who was his age, so the friend was about 30 at the time, had a lot of grand plans, alright? He wanted to start a franchise in this Laksa because it's very nice. and the plans were all going underway. He was very focused on that. One night, a freak accident happened. Okay? He was basically just lying down, sleeping on his mattress, and then beside him was a computer table. So you know the computer table, they have the edge at the side there, the leg. Okay? What happened was he actually fell off the bed. His nose hit the computer table, broke the nose. Alright? And as a result of that, he was actually unconscious. Okay? But the problem was this, that because there were bleeding and he was unconscious and face down, he suffocated to death. Okay? And that just happened like that. That is what time is. That's how urgent Paul means, that things can just happen to us. We say that, this kind of things, it may not happen to everyone, but we never know. Right? And really, I can tell you for sure that death doesn't just separate us from the person, it separates the person from God forever. And I just need us to just imagine this, that if we were all non-Christians, okay, we knew that we had some Christian friends, but they never shared with us. And then we would die, we would go to hell. And at that moment you just ask yourself, why didn't anybody share this with me? Where was my Christian friend? Okay? Again, another thing is my girlfriend. Again, like when I agreed to actually share on this, right? Just a few days later, my girlfriend said that her grandmother fell down, and then she fell down, so she had because she was old, she couldn't go for any surgery. And then a few days later, the doctor actually told her aunt to take her home. Just wait, because it's a matter of hours or days. And so we were feeling very troubled by this. And the father also went down. Okay, and then the father said, Grandma is in a lot of pain. Pray that God may take her life away. And at that moment, it was very hard for both of us to pray that, because we knew that if we prayed that God would take her life away, that would mean the end of her life. She would be in hell. And so, all this boils down to what we were sharing. And so it was a very difficult thing. And I just prayed at that time. I prayed, Lord, send someone to actually share the gospel with her. Okay. And when I shared that, I just felt a little bit of contradiction, if you would say. I felt God was telling me, why don't you be the one to actually go? Okay. And as if the Lord was preparing us for this, the next day, her condition just got better. The father said she's now starting to speak again. She now can open her eyes. And I'm just telling you now that please don't waste your time here in uni. No matter how long or how short it is, 4 years, 3 years, 2 years, 1 year, 1 sem, or even two months, make the most of every opportunity, redeem the time. As I was just really reflecting back, I just felt that if possible, I would like to replay my 4 years, not because it was one of the fun times I had, but really because I had just missed so many opportunities. Right now you all have so many friends around you, so much opportunities to actually share. Those of you in hostel, you just look to your left or to your right, there's already one roommate there. And then after you just walk out of your cubicle, there are another six people there. And after that, when you go to classes, you have all your classmates there also. For me now, I have my housemates, and when I go to work, I only have my colleagues. I'm not giving it as an excuse, but I'm saying that you all have so much opportunities. And I was just thinking about it, the people that I shared to in my uni. Yes, I shared to a few of them, but that was like, I just felt I could have done way more. I just felt that those opportunities that came, it's not like I really sought for them, but rather, I feel that I was actually just comforting myself in the sense that I actually shared the gospel this end, so it's okay now, right? But never stop there. Just continue to seek opportunities to share. You know, you have your friends, your classmates, everyone around you. Don't miss out on this. I think I'll just end with this. Like last year in camp, when I came, it was my last camp. You know, I told the guys to rise up, right? To rise up, to pick up the responsibility and to do what is needed. And now coming back here, I feel God has told me a different message. Now it is to everyone, wake up. Wake up from your slumber, wake up from your sleep, to see the need, to see the urgency, and to actually just go out and to share the gospel. So seek for opportunities. Okay? Wake up. Shall we just close in prayer? Probably we can take a moment, a minute or two, just between you and God. That if there are anything that we have need to improve, to work on, to break, let us go to the Lord in prayer and to ask for forgiveness and also for strength to carry. Our Father, Lord in heaven, we want to give you thanks for today. We give you thanks because of your love for us, that you gave us your Son, Jesus Christ. And dear Lord, the only proper response for us is to give our lives back to you. And dear Lord, for the things that we see that are broken within us, for the times that we have not put you first, for the times, oh Lord, that we have cared about other things more than the gospel and to preach, to be your ambassadors. For the times that we have been ashamed to be your ambassador, for the times that we have been ashamed of the gospel, we ask for forgiveness. And dear Lord, we want to pray that you may fill us with your Spirit more, that we may allow Spirit to take control of us, that, oh Lord, we may arise from our slumber, that, dear Lord, we may wake up, and that we may start to have this urgency that Paul had, to preach the gospel to anyone, to be bounded in chains, O Lord, and to live for you. Help us, O Lord, give us wisdom to make the most of every opportunity and to redeem the time. We want to pray that we may start to have this urgency for people around us to share, to pray for opportunities, to pray for boldness. And we want to pray, O Lord, that our lives from today onward may be a life pleasing to you. We give you thanks. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for the word, Shaun. So now we left Andrew to give the love gift to Shaun.